Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Bob. Bob gave a general contribution, which I'll use for this video. But before I get to the content at hand, please go to the description box and click on the Rumble link version to this video. I ask everybody to watch this video over on Rumble, as I am still monetized over there, and it helps with the channel's success. On to the subject at hand. I came across this video, and it really encapsulates everything I've been talking about Gen X and the position we've been put in with this entire, and it's all been come to the head with this Israel situation, Israel-Iran. And this is an interview Marjorie Taylor Greene did a couple days ago with Steve Bannon. And she really nails it. And again, this is another Gen X politician who the establishment hates, the boomers hate. You know, it's always the Gen Xers that get the most heat on them. It's always the Gen Xers that are the most evil, have the most attacks on them, every single time. So, on to the subject matter.
Has to be used if it's used by a smart commander-in-chief, if it's used wisely, if it's used for a specific purpose, it gives us peace. So I want the
Mark Levin screaming for more war. What else is new?
called, I don't know what to call them. People are running around, warmonger, the sloganeers. This should be an education for you too. This should be an education for you too. America, don't you feel relief? Of course you feel relief.
Yeah, great. Are you relief? Everybody feel relief, though, that we drop bombs on Iran? Is it going to help you pay your rent? Is it going to help you pay your electric bill? Is it going to put gas in your car, pay your insurance? Is it going to bring down the cost of insurance, to bring down the cost of groceries? Though eggs have come down exponentially. It's amazing. We just bought 60 of them for $13 yesterday. Crazy.
Because these Islamo-Nazis were building nuclear weapons to attack.
Islamo-Nazis. Like we've been hearing Islamo-Nazi now since 9/11.
Attack us too, with intercontinental ballistic missiles. Guess what? You can go to bed peacefully tonight. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Great, because that's what we've all been worrying about when we go to bed at night, whether or not ballistic missiles from Iran.
Because of Obama, not because of Biden, not because of the Democrats, not because of some Republicans, because of Donald Trump.
The lead story in Mediaite, one of the hottest stories in the nation right now, is Fox News' Mark Levin nukes shameless nitwit Marjorie Taylor Greene from orbit. Congressman Greene, I know you're here for AI, but any response, observations? Did you feel better going to sleep last night because Mark Levin's on the ramparts on duty, ma'am?
Does she not have some?
Do I have her? Yeah. Unmute. You got to unmute yourself, MTG.
Gotcha. Thank you. That was
you feel.
extremely
By the way,
hard to listen.
did you sleep? Did you sleep better
I've made that mistake and had to redo videos. That sucks.
last night as a nitwit?
Oh.
Did you sleep better, nitwit, because of Mark Levin?
Well, that's quite some name calling from one of Fox News hosts. It was hard to listen to what he was saying with all the screeching, which is why most people I know don't watch his show. But no, I didn't sleep better after neocons and warmongers talked this administration into entering a hot war that Israel started after Netanyahu.
That Israel started 100%.
Barely won a vote, Steve. Barely won a vote by 2 votes in order to stay in power the day before Israel attacked, an unprovoked attack, Iran.
I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that they had voted, I guess, inter-party, however it works over in Israel, whether or not to leave him in charge. He won by 2 votes, and then he goes and he starts bombing. Why? Because it's going to help keep him in power. As long as he's bombing over there, he stays in power. Because there is a deep state, what they call a deep state in Israel, that has been desperate trying to remove him from office, charge him with crimes, charge his wife with crimes. So it's not every citizen of Israel is like that. He is not liked before the whole October 7th thing, Netanyahu was not popular in Israel.
Now, I'm not making apologies for Iran. I have no investment in the terrorist regime.
She's exactly where I'm at. Like, I make no apologies for, I'm not a fan of Iran. I don't want to live there. I don't think they're good people. I don't think the Mullahs are good people, but this isn't our problem.
Of Iran, but the reality is no American slept better after America bombed Iran, because all of a sudden we now have threats on our homeland. We now have warnings from our State Department for Americans overseas. Qatar put out a warning to Americans to shelter in place. Americans in Israel are terrified for their lives, as well as the Israeli people are terrified for their lives. But
honestly, if you're, I had those are the people I have the least bit of sympathy. The Americans in Israel, the ones who are just keeping American citizenship so they can vote in our elections, but really, they're about Israel.
Because bombs have been falling in Israel, and and Americans all over the world are seriously questioning, is this going to be World War III? So no, I didn't sleep better, regardless of Mark Levin's silly name calling, and I don't think any American is sleeping better after this, Steve.
What's going to happen? You're coming back. Everybody's coming back. They're going to be here tomorrow. You guys are going to get briefings. What's going to happen? Are other voices going to get in to start advising the president, ma'am?
Well, I got to add on one more thing, Steve, and I'm sure you've covered it on your show. Mark Levin was one of the biggest never-Trumpers when President Trump was running for president.
It's always the ones who just get to the party that have the most to say. It's always the ones who were your enemies 30 seconds ago. They just get here and they have the most to say and the most demands. That's every time.
So it absolutely makes me sick. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth that he's one of the voices that is constantly texting and calling President Trump's phone and showing up at the White House demanding for America to go to every single foreign war on behalf of Israel. I'm really sick and disgusted at that. And it's people like him and Lindsey Graham and all these other people that never really supported Trump in the beginning. People like me, regular people like me, donated to President Trump. We showed up at his rallies. We voted for him. We truly supported him. I've supported him the entire time. Mark Levin was a never-Trumper. Compared President Trump, claimed that he was the same as Code Pink. All of this horrible attacks on President Trump, and he only supports him now because he couldn't beat him, because people like me supported President Trump and got him elected.
And this is Trump's boomer folly that... Because he wants everybody, at the end of the day, he wants everybody in media or with a microphone to like him. He thinks he's like he's going to convert these people. Like the Hannitys because the Hannity's one of the biggest phonies. Levin and the likes, these people who shit on him all the time. And as soon as they say something nice because they want something, now he gives them a platform. Not so much because he cut them off and he's not giving them what they want now.
And Steve, I've spent 5 years. I've spent millions of dollars, millions of my own money, traveling this entire country campaigning for President Trump, defending him when everyone abandoned him after January 6th. And I would say I represent MAGA far more than Mark Levin or any of these other neocon suck-ups ever will and ever do, because MAGA is not for foreign wars. Yep. We are not for regime change, and we are for America first. That's not isolationism at all. That's for fixing our $37 trillion debt. That's fighting for border security. That's fighting for my kids, Steve. My kids are 22, 25, and 27, and I want them to have a future. And I am sick and tired of people like this. A lot of these people are going to be dead in 10 to 15 years. But my kids' future matters to me. And right now, their generation can't buy a house. They can't afford insurance. They can't get good paying jobs. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford to buy a car. They can't afford gas. They don't know if they're ever going to be able to save money for their retirement because they're barely making it paycheck to paycheck. And I am so angry about this.
And the boomers want to just burn it all down on their way out. They got 5 to 15 years left, some of them. And this is what they're doing. And what they're leaving is in a world that nobody can afford, selling out to all these investments, these black rock companies, buying up all the property, buying up cheap housing, buying up apartment complexes in Florida. They're buying up, trailer communities, like nice ones, and they're pricing everybody out, making everybody a renter, and then driving the renters, the people who are renting, driving up their rents. And they don't care. And it's been because, she said it I heard her say like that she's 51 years old, and we have been fighting wars at the behest of Israel since she's been in the 10th grade. Since I was my senior year, since I was 18. The first war in Iraq, like we have been dealing with the Middle East at the behest of Israel since 1990.
So all of them have crossed my line. And you want to know what I have that Mark Levin doesn't have? I have a voting card, Steve. I have a voting card because I have a district that believes in the greatness of America, that believes in America First policies, and desperately wants President Trump, his administration, and the Republican-controlled House and Senate to enact and support this. And I tell you what, 6 months in, Steve, and here we are turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag-draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News, that brainwashes all the baby boomers.
This is exactly what I said. For all these people pushing us into war, like they did with the second Iraq war, after 9/11, all these Democrats and all these media organizations, whether it be CNN or MSNBC or CBS News, the New York Times, all of them were beating the drums for war before we went in. And what was that, 2003? Weapons of mass destruction, this, and 5 months, 2 months, 30 days away from that. And the second we committed, and Bush was in there, okay, about 2 weeks into it, Bush lied, people died, and everything was a lie, and then everybody, the entire media and the entire left was anti-war. Everybody was gonna leave, and it was Nazi this, Nazi that. That's what the same thing is going to happen. The same people that have been beating the drums for war, the second you give it to them, they'll act like they never said it. They'll act like it didn't happen. Doesn't matter how many times you had it on camera, how many times you had it recorded. John Kerry ran for president saying I voted for the war before I voted against it. Like, huh? They're just going to run the same playbook. Why? Because the boomers never respected us anyway. And what you're seeing here is now Gen X, the Gen Xers who have had enough. And I always said it's going to have to be Gen X who stands up and leads this. And it's not going to be very many of us because a lot of us are gone. A lot of us are too far down the rabbit hole. But the ones who know. And this is what she's talking about. So you're going to get walked into another war, another conflict by these people. And the second those flag-draped coffins start coming, everybody's going to turn on you and they're going to act like, oh, Trump just attacked, Trump lied, people died, the whole like. You know what you didn't hear in the second Gulf War, though? Israel. Though that's why we're in there, it was all on Bush, it was all on Cheney, it was all on Powell, it was all on the Republicans. Yet everybody seemed to forget Bibi Netanyahu sitting in front of Congress Saddam's 2 months away, a month away. Again, it was the same shape. Israel they didn't commit any troops. They didn't go on any bombing runs, did they? They just sat on the sidelines after they got us to go on in there. And the same thing will happen again.
And on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down. And
it's a boomer problem. It's a boomer thing.
Going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down. And, you know, the AI portion, I want to address that, Steve. That's a bunch of crap. They should have never put that poison pill in the House version of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah, and this AI, they're saying that states can't write any anti-AI laws for 10 years. Like, what? Like, this entire government is it's a couple people versus evil.
In the first place, I am a 100% no vote if it is still there, because I get to vote again. I get to vote on it again when it comes back to the House. And I am not voting for a 10-year moratorium on state rights to make regulations and laws on AI. That is absurd. And the One Big Beautiful Bill is about taxes, energy, and border security. And that's exactly what it should be. So shame on the people that put it out there. That should be separate legislation. And I'm not playing ball anymore. This weekend, I turned a corner. I'm not playing ball anymore. I'm going to vote exactly for what I campaigned on, exactly for what I promised my district, and I will use my voting card to make that happen.
MTG, what's your social media?
Okay, so that's it. Gen X has had enough. We've had it with these brainwashed boomers who are trying to set us up for more failure, who are just trying to burn it all down on their way out and watch one more war for their entertainment. Enough's enough. It's got to be Gen X. It's not many of us, and it's not going to need many of us. But it's people like her. I've been really impressed. I got to be honest. I've been really impressed with Marco Rubio lately. Like, he was such a letdown because he got in as like one of these Tea Party candidates in like '08 and then tried to pass amnesty, and it was like this. Like, he drank the boomer Kool-Aid. And I think he's figured out, like, you know what? We don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. And he's actually turned out to be like one of the best Secretary of States we've had so far. So Gen X has had enough of brainwashed baby boomers. Bottom line. So thank you, Bob, for your contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care.